Ever wonder how daily walking affects you? It's actually crucial for your testosterone levels. Yet there's a huge hidden catch to maximize impact. Many walks don't actually optimize your hormone health. They casually wander, getting zero biological gain. Discover how to truly unlock your body's potential. By the time we're done here today, you won't merely grasp why simply walking serves as the ultimate hormonal lever. You'll uncover the precise biological mechanism that actively protects your overall manhood. I will meticulously break down the crucial 7-point rule derived from a landmark 2021 medical study, proving every step truly matters. I'll demonstrate how a simple daily stroll functions as a chemical kill switch for estrogen circulating within your system. Most critically, I'll show you precisely how to integrate this into your routine, so that your body is compelled to start rebuilding its strength. Before we examine the underlying reasons, we must first consider what occurs when physical activity ceases. Imagine a group of vigorous, active young men, truly in their prime. Researchers once placed these individuals into a step count study, where they had to cut back on their daily movement. Their dietary intake stayed consistent. They didn't restrict their sleep. Researchers simply instructed them: cease movement. Their steps were limited to roughly 1,500 daily, effectively simulating the sedentary routine of a typical modern office worker, who commutes from bed to car to desk. The consequences were shocking. In barely 2 weeks, these vigorous men experienced a significant decline in insulin sensitivity. Their bodies began accumulating fat at an escalated pace. But the most astonishing finding: their testosterone levels plummeted. Their physiology, sensing this lack of motion, essentially determined that a reproductive mode was no longer essential for survival. They transitioned into a state of hibernation. Subsequently, the researchers reversed this effect. They instructed the men to resume walking. Simply walking. No intense squats, no sprinting, merely regular daily movement. In a matter of days, their metabolic markers began to reverse. Their testosterone levels gradually ascended back towards their baseline. This research established one undeniable truth: your physiology perceives a sedentary routine as a biological emergency. If you cease movement, your testosterone doesn't merely dip, it becomes suppressed. However, that only covered what occurs when physical activity ceases. The true aha moment arrived in 2021, when researchers unveiled a groundbreaking study. Their findings were based on data from the U.S. National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. Researchers meticulously analyzed hundreds of men, tracking their precise step counts and blood hormone levels. They didn't merely identify a link, they uncovered a clear mathematical formula. Their findings showed that for every extra 1,000 steps a man recorded per day, his testosterone levels climbed by 7 nanograms per deciliter. Consider this calculation. If you're currently inactive, averaging just 4,000 steps daily, and you elevate that to 10,000 steps, that represents a 6,000 step difference. This translates to a potential 42-point boost in your baseline testosterone solely from walking. Yet, here's the unsettling aspect of the findings. When researchers examined men taking fewer than 4,000 steps daily, the likelihood of those men experiencing clinically low testosterone was exceptionally high. When compared against men taking more than 8,000 steps, the active participants showed a 90% reduced risk of low T. Merely engaging your body eliminates 90% of the risk of critically lowering your hormones. To truly comprehend why such a simple action causes such a profound effect, we need to consider the cortisol seesaw. Visualize your hormone system as a bank account operating under a stringent budget. Your body relies on the same raw materials, specifically cholesterol, for producing both testosterone and cortisol. It cannot synthesize an unlimited quantity of both. It must prioritize. Picture yourself at work when your boss imposes an enormous deadline on you. Your heart rate increases, your jaw tightens, and your body releases cortisol. In that moment, your body communicates: we must survive right now. Thriving or reproduction is not currently necessary. It then diverts raw materials intended for your testosterone, channeling them to build stress hormones instead. This phenomenon is termed the cortisol steal. Walking serves as the primary antidote against this depletion. When you partake in consistent rhythmic walking, you initiate a brain state known as optic flow. As the world passes your eyes in a consistent rhythm, the amygdala, the fear processing center of your brain, actually settles down. Walking effectively reduces the intensity of your body's stress response. Although high-intensity exercise, such as sprinting, temporarily elevates cortisol as it's a physical stressor, walking significantly decreases it. By walking, you effectively communicate to your body, "We are safe, not under attack." When cortisol levels drop, you liberate those raw materials, empowering your body with the resources it needs to resume testosterone production. Yet, the phenomenon of cortisol steal isn't the singular obstacle. We also need to discuss your body's physical composition, particularly the fat located around your midsection. Not all types of fat are equivalent. Fat found on your arms or legs primarily functions as storage. However, visceral fat, the firm fat protruding from your abdomen, operates differently. This visceral fat is biochemically active. It behaves like a parasitic organ, generating an enzyme known as aromatase. Visualize yourself striving to produce testosterone, metaphorically pouring it into a bucket. Aromatase functions as a hole at the bottom of that bucket. However, it's far worse. It doesn't just allow testosterone to escape, it actively converts it. Aromatase transforms your testosterone directly into estrogen. This is precisely why men with considerable belly fat frequently experience low libido and notable mood swings. Their body fat is essentially robbing them of their manhood. This is precisely where walking emerges as your ultimate defense. Your body metabolizes fuel differently contingent on your exertion level. When you sprint or engage in heavy weightlifting, your body consumes glycogen, which is sugar stored in muscles. It provides rapid energy for explosive actions. However, when you walk, you remain within the oxidative zone. This specific zone allows your body to become highly efficient at mobilizing and burning fat for energy. By walking with regularity, you are steadily starving the aromatase factory. You're not simply losing weight. You are actively dismantling the chemical weapon being deployed against you. But what of your dietary intake? We've all known the dreaded food coma. You consume a substantial lunch, and an hour later, you feel the urge to curl up right under your desk. That indicates your blood sugar spiking and crashing. When your blood sugar remains persistently elevated, your body must release insulin to regulate it. Persistently high insulin levels send a direct signal to the testes, reducing testosterone production. It acts as a protective mechanism. Your body perceives the metabolism as dysfunctional and determines it's an unfavorable time for reproduction. Many men attempt to resolve this through brutal, highly restrictive diets they ultimately abandon. However, walking presents an alternative solution. Your leg muscles, specifically your quads, hamstrings, and glutes, represent the largest muscles in your body. When you walk, these muscles flex thousands of times, effectively acting like a giant sponge for blood sugar. They readily absorb glucose from your bloodstream without needing nearly as much insulin to accomplish this. Picture having just completed a substantial dinner. Rather than settling on the couch to watch TV, you simply step outside for 10 minutes. By taking this action, you mitigate the blood sugar spike and prevent that massive surge of insulin. By effectively keeping your insulin levels low and stable, you indicate to your body that its metabolic environment remains healthy, which serves as a green light for testosterone production. Beyond its chemical aspects, testosterone is more than merely a compound. It's a distinct feeling. It's intrinsically linked to dopamine, the molecule of motivation and gratification. When you remain inactive all day, you feel stagnant, and your brain generates less dopamine. This inactivity contributes to a cycle of low testosterone. Physical movement disrupts this cycle. Biologists often discuss the winner effect. When an animal patrols its territory, explores new environments, and moves with purpose, its testosterone rises. This serves as a biological reward for its activity. Walking, especially brisk and purposeful steps, replicates this patrolling behavior. It then releases endorphins and dopamine, which enhances your mood and establishes a positive feedback loop. Elevated testosterone makes you desire to move, yet the very act of moving stimulates your body to produce more testosterone. By consciously making yourself to walk, even when you don't feel inclined, you effectively jumpstart the engine. The question now is, how do you actually manifest this into reality? You won't require a complicated training manual, yet you certainly need to understand the 3 fundamental pillars for an effective testosterone walk. Firstly, we'll address the pace. A leisurely stroll benefits your mental health greatly, but for hormonal impact, you need to increase your speed. Envision yourself navigating a bustling airport, just a bit behind schedule for your flight. You're not sprinting, however, you're performing with purpose. Your breathing should intensify beyond its normal rate, yet you must still be able to utter brief phrases. This ideal zone encourages fat burning without elevating your cortisol levels. Following this, think about when you do it. Recalling our talk on the sugar sponge effect, the prime moment to take a stroll is immediately post-meal. Rather than a single, exhausting morning trek, endeavor to divide your activity, for instance, 10 minutes after lunch, then 15 minutes post-dinner. This method of dosage keeps your metabolism vibrant throughout the entire day and helps regulate your insulin levels. Lastly, reflect on your surroundings. Should circumstances permit, venture outdoors. Exposure to sunlight is vital as it initiates vitamin D synthesis within your skin. Vitamin D is more than simply a vitamin. It serves as a steroid precursor, functioning as a primary component for testosterone. While exercising on a treadmill in a dim cellar surpasses lounging on the sofa, yet moving outdoors under the sun is vastly superior. You gain physical activity, the stress-relieving effect of optic flow, and essential raw elements, all simultaneously. The appeal of walking lies in its completely negligible barrier to entry. You won't require costly gear, a gym subscription isn't necessary, and there's no need to master a flawless technique. All you must do is stand. Should you be experiencing the symptoms of diminished testosterone, such as weariness, mental cloudiness, or a lack of motivation, refrain from initially seeking a miraculous cure. Begin by reinforcing your base. Your physique was inherently built for motion. Cease your activity, and it commences its deactivation. A walk serves as the prompt to reactivate your system. It alleviates stress, metabolizes the fat that depletes your hormones, and maintains stable blood sugar levels. This represents the most singularly potent and organic method to foster conditions where your testosterone may flourish. Therefore, here is your proposition. Over the upcoming 7 days, aim for 8,000 steps. Without fail, regardless of weather. Undertake this for 1 week, then evaluate your own well-being. You'll not merely perceive yourself as lighter. You'll sense your inner mechanism at last recommencing. Begin your stroll. Your physical self will handle the remainder.